Thank you, Mr. President, and I rise in support of the motion to adjourn. It's interesting that we've been hearing over a year that the emergency is over, we don't need special session, and now we are in overtime in a special session. Members, I think people are tired. People are tired of seeing us in the legislature just acting like we're doing work when it could have been done in the regular session. It could have been done in every single month of the special sessions we've had for the past year. Members, for people who like to complain about government, you are really milking the cow. We are here spending taxpayer dollars every day of the special session. Let's be reminded that the House adjourned last week after we completed the budget, which was the main purpose of our legislative session. And members, I mean no disrespect by that either. I do know the person who is now being talked about being confirmed. I actually know the family, and I've worked with the daughter, so I certainly support his confirmation. It should have happened 2 years ago, as Senator Kent mentioned. Members, again, the emergency is over. We don't need to be in special session. I think those are the same words verbatim that Senator Gazelka, the majority leader of the Republican Party in this chamber, has uttered ad nauseum for the last year. I respectfully believe this is an abuse not only of power, but it's also failed leadership. We could do this in the regular course of our jobs. We were here for 2.5 weeks for special session to go through the budget bills. Why did this not come up before? We just had a holiday break celebrating America, and a lot of people were out of town, and a lot of people were having fun with their families and enjoying the lake. Members, the emergency is over. Let's get back to business. Let's get back to our other job. Let me remind you all that this is a part-time legislature. I wonder where the real president of the Senate is, because he has another job. He has a business. Many of the members here have businesses. Many of the other people here work for employers who need them back at work. This is a sacrifice we all make when we take the oath of office to serve our constituents, to represent them. But members, a lot of this work could and should have been done in the regular course of that business. There is no excuse, there's no reason to have to stay in special session at more cost of taxpayers, more bureaucracy, and more theater, because this could be done in an orderly fashion during the regular course of our legislative session. We were here for months, and now we're going extra in overtime, again, spending and wasting taxpayer time and dollars to confirm people that needed to be confirmed a couple years ago. And I think when I mentioned the abuse of power, and I say that, Mr. Gazelka, Senator Gazelka, is because you're the leader of the majority. And I also remember vividly many members of the majority party questioning our governor, questioning his power and his leadership for over a year. So let's not talk at two sides of our mouth. Let's be clear what this is. This is just an exercise of who deemed or who has more power. Well, members, this is not the way the process works, and the public also deserves to have a regular course of business. Who wants to serve in the public legislature or an elected office if they're going to be at any moment confirmed by the Senate at any moment or not confirmed? So I know there's a lot of lists of people who were not confirmed. I don't know why they weren't taken up before, but I'm guessing there will be an excuse of why that was, why we were delaying. Members, people are tired. The public is exhausted of seeing us in the legislature. Let's do our job when we are elected to do it, not going overtime. It's not part of what people expect of us, and if this is going to become a new norm, I honestly don't believe a lot of people are going to be running for office.
Senator Franzen, will you suspend for just a moment?
Mr. President, I am not done with my remarks.
Parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. President, I am not done with my remarks.
Senator Franzen, a point of parliamentary inquiry has been made, so you will suspend. Senator Johnson.
I will not be continued to be interrupted.
Debatable motion.
Mr. President.
Yes, Senator Johnson, it is a debatable motion. Actually, a Senate motion to sine die is in order any time, any place, anywhere. Senator Franzen.
Thank you, Mr. President. And members of the majority, I can talk here for a long time about why I think this is just not necessary to do. So you can take a walk or you can do something else, but we're going to be debating why we're here. And members, again, public service is an honorable thing. What people do when they run for the school board, when people do when they ask to be appointed or get appointed by the governor to a task force, it's a big deal. It's an honor to serve your community. It's not an honor to demonize people for trying to serve their community. And maybe we'll appoint these wonderful people today and confirm them. But members, we all know that you don't approve of all of them and that you will make political theater to demonize some, to say that we didn't get what we want in a budget negotiation, so now you're out of a job. That is not our job, members. Our job is to find qualified people to serve in an honorable public service appointment. And if we really had an issue, I think we can come to terms in terms of like figuring out why people are not qualified for their jobs. But they go through excruciating vetting process. Let's not change the order of what we're meant to do in this body. Let's be respectful of people, people with families, people who are giving up a lot to serve. Some members come from the private sector to be appointed to be commissioners, and they give up a great salary in the private sector, but they bring so many great expertise to the government. Let's honor that. Let's respect that. I do question why we have to do it today, why we didn't do it right before we went on break. It's just too cute to continue to stay on special session for purposes of having a platform. I have a business I'd like to go back to. This is a part-time legislature, and if we're doing a really good job arguing that it should be full-time. And if that's the case, sign me up. I love this job. I've told people this is the job of my dreams. But it's not very dreamy lately, when the rules are being changed every minute for political gain. I did not sign up for that. I signed up to represent my constituents. I signed up to do good public policy. I didn't sign up to do public theater. I did not sign up to do political gamemanship. I came here to do the job and confirm people who are honorable, who should be respected, who should be giving the time and the courtesy to go through a thorough vetting in the normal course of business. And why some of these members of the public who are going to be confirmed or not have had to wait years or are on pins and needles because they have to wait at whenever the majority wants to take them up, it's beyond me. And if we need to change the law to fix that, to have a shortened period so we can actually vet them, and if they're not the right people for the job, then we don't confirm them, that's the way the process goes. But to keep it open-ended for years, who in their right mind goes to a private sector job and doesn't sign the contract after doing the job for years? That doesn't happen. And it's not acceptable in the public sector. When people are moving to serve, they leave a profession, they leave an industry, come to the public sector to serve. They should be giving the courtesy and the respect that they deserve to be vetted in a reasonable time and to be voted up and down. We see it in the Congress too. These processes are getting politicized every day, and it's not only hurting our democracy, it's hurting the very people that are trying to do good for our state and for our country. Members, I urge you to vote green to adjourn sine die, because we had plenty of time to do this work, and the majority decided not to. Thank you.
Senator Franzen, just as a reminder, decorum and rules of this chamber do prevail, and if a member does rise to a point of order, you do suspend even if you are in the middle of a sentence. It is inappropriate for you to snap back at the president's chair saying you will continue once you've already been told that a member has risen. So in the future, you have been around here a while. I do expect you to follow the rules of decorum. Senator Franzen.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the reminder. I do want to remind Mr. President that this tactic has been used over and over again in this chamber to interrupt members in their speeches. That has never happened in my 9 years here. And it's been abused by the majority party to cut our speech. And I will not be shut down. Thank you.